Hi everyone, welcome to Finance Marketplace. In this YouTube channel, I'm going to talk about number of things attached to the money market and capital market, largely on Sri Lankan perspective, while touch base on global context as well. The main focus would be in this channel to talk about the overall money market and capital market activities. In such, the relevant markets and respective financial products will be discussed in detail, which could be easily understood by beginners in particular. We'll get to that in the future videos. In today's video, I will talk about the present state of Sri Lankan economy and will briefly look at the other important financial news, the country's money market and capital market behavior, also the government's approach to overcome the current crisis. Before I get to that point, let me introduce myself. I'm Sampath Kulathunga, investment banking professional, has been in the sector for over 20 years by involving in money market and capital market activities. You could access my profile through the blog www.sampathkulathunga.com. Let's move into today's topic, the state of Sri Lankan economy. The crisis in Sri Lanka has unfolded economically and politically during the last 3 to 4 weeks. The escalating political risk weigh heavily on the nation's economy. The crisis in the island nation continues to intensify due to its rise in inflation, prolonged power cuts, and regular nationwide public protests. Severe scarcity of fuel, cooking gas, and number of other essential items including food, medicine, many of which have been limited, has turned number of Sri Lankan daily lives into an endless cycle of waiting in lines. Due to power cuts, availability of number of services are seriously restricted, including health services. The crisis that has caused widespread gloom in the worst tumble since independence in 1948. According to statistics at the end of 2021, Sri Lanka has GDP $83.97 billion, which ranked number 67 in world ranking, and growth rate is marked as 3.7% with GDP per capita of $3,790. The exports accounted for $12.5 billion, whilst imports accounted for $20.65 billion under the restricted import system. The country's trade deficit was $8.15 billion. At the end of 2021, the nation's total external debt stands at $50.72 billion. Central Bank of Sri Lanka has recently announced it is suspending payments on its $51 billion foreign debt due to deep political and economic crisis. The country's stock exchange trading halted for 5 working days since 18th April 2022 to 22nd April 2022. The move came as the market experienced unprecedented all-share price index dropped from 11,406 to 8,135 before trading halted earlier on in April, and then declined to 7,569 soon after the market was open, which was the lowest in months. Over 3,837 points dropped from 2nd March 2022 to 29th April 2022, which is fairly a significant fall. The Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, as its meeting held on 8th April 2022, decided to significantly tighten its monetary policy stance as a measure to stabilize the economy. The policy rates increased SDFR and SLFR by 700 basis points to 13.5% and 14.5% respectively. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka's substantial policy response is a bit to arrest inflationary pressure and to correct market interest rate structure, and also to hold free fall of the Sri Lankan rupee. However, the currency has plunged more than 35% in a month. The government treasury bill rates recorded highest ever jump at primary auction just after Central Bank of Sri Lanka policy rates announcement. 91 days treasury bill rate soared to 19.71% from 14.12% by 5.59%, while 182 days treasury bill rate jumped to 22.73% from 15.36% by 7.37%, and 364 days treasury bill rate jumped to 23.36% from 15.69% by mammoth 7.67%. Given weaker economic growth momentum, coupled with ongoing political uncertainty, most expect further complicated the macro landscape. The extended disruption to global supply chains due to Russia-Ukraine military conflict and surge in commodity prices means the Central Bank of Sri Lanka will face near unmanageable task of further tackling the nation's economy. However, the government has already approached IMF for rapid finance instrument and extended fund facility in addition to World Bank, ADB and bilateral partners, which is important to meet the short-term financing requirement. Further, the government is expected to introduce number of reforms, increase in government revenue, public financial management, external debt restructuring, foreign exchange management, and structural reforms are to name few. The political and economic tensions are increasingly clouding the country's growth outlook. The IMF has forecasted country's economic growth rate will likely slow significantly to 2.6% in 2022, which is looking much weaker than consensus. However, as the saying goes, every dark cloud has a silver lining. We should never feel disappointed. The important part of success comes from hard work. Difficult times always lead to better days. The visionary leadership will guide to redefine the nation's outlook. It's just that each stakeholder should work together as a one nation. In my next video, I will talk about the government securities market and its related products, which include treasury bill, treasury bonds. With this little note, let me conclude my first video and thank you so much for watching this. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.